Monday Night Raw has just ended, and we have gotten a debut and a heel turn. Royce Keys turning heel, joining OTM. OTM is now on the main roster. What should we expect after they completely have destroyed the Bloodline, taking them out, destroyed LA Knight, destroyed Solo Sikoa? What does this mean? Are they gonna join this LA Knight and Solo Sikoa have to join forces with the Bloodline now to take down OTM and Royce Keys? Because they came out there and they cleaned house tonight. CD, what do you got for us, man?
You could argue and say they're the best tag team in NXT, honestly, and coming up getting this exposure on the main roster, going into this like with the Usos, LA Knight, with guys like that. That's a big moment, and pairing up with Royce Keys. This group right here looks like they about to like cause some havoc. They already gave us a good first impression, dominating everybody, cleaning the house, causing a lot of mayhem, putting people through tables, especially his punk ass Jay, who's I'm talking to you. Like, come on, man. Like it's getting crazy, man. Like OTM is definitely one of the best tag teams. Young too. They're gonna be here for a while. Hopefully, the fact that they like dominated the Usos the way they did kind of speaks volumes. I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely.
A lot of volumes. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Royce Keys was a little stale, but now that he's a heel, like, I'm not gonna lie, this is very good for his character. Like, it can actually kind of go somewhere now. We can steer into a good direction. I do think they might have to work forces. They have to join together with maybe LA Knight and Solo, and then I think I know what this might eventually lead to. War games. It's gonna eventually go to war games.
You know, I really hope we don't go the war games route, but that feels inevitable. I would personally like. I know Survivor Series is on the cusp. It's after Money in the Bank. If they do push this all the way to Survivor Series, like they probably might, I really hope it's actually a just 5-on-5 traditional tag match. I don't.
War Games is already confirmed.
I'm not there for
the Survivor Series has already been advertised as War Games.
Yeah. Oh, it has. War Games has been advertised.
Mr. Quadriceps, by the way.
You know what?
Yeah, it's already confirmed. We're doing War Games.
It's unfortunate. I'm gonna be honest. I really do miss the 5-on-5, especially after having War Games so long.
Next year,
Jordan, I know you're probably going to go into this and talk about Royce Keys in a second. CD, thank you for what you had to say. Look, it's been so long since we had a 5-on-5 tag. Like I miss it. And I think when you do War Games too much, it loses the effect on how special it is, right? Because it's supposed to be this big special thing. So when you have it every single year, I feel like it kind of diminishes what it should be used for, and that's for a blood rivalry. Matter of fact, if they didn't have War Games the past 5 years, I know I'm exaggerating, but like the past like half a decade, this would probably be the good time for it. Like you could actually build something for it. But I feel like a lot of us are just so war gamed out that we are like, dude, just have them have a 5-on-5 tag match. And that sucks because I think this was one of the only feuds in the past few years that actually probably, if built up right, would deserve a 5-on-5 War Games match. It would actually absolutely do it. But Jordan, talk to me. CD, talk to me about OTM. What does this do for the career of Royce Keys in terms of the trajectory? Obviously, he's super young, has a lot more to give. But with him joining forces with OTM, what does this do for the trajectory of Royce Keys?
Well, you already know. You like to use this. I'll use a word you use, Reese. He's actually not young, but for WWE standards, spring chicken, 41 years old today, as of right now as we speak. Royce Keys is 41 years old. But like we said, spring chicken.
I thought he was mid-30s. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, I'm just making sure you know that, like, even by the standards that WWE would consider young, 41. He's right in the mix. There's also the fact that like he did debut with almost no direction, and I agree with CD how like he was getting a little bit stale because they were kind of just letting him float. But I want y'all to remember something. He warned Jacob. This would happen. He told LA Knight and Solo that if he didn't get what he wanted out of the situation at SummerSlam, that there would be repercussions, and people didn't remember that. And like, I love that they're doing this because I'm not gonna lie to you. In a roster right now that's as slim as it is, you got no Drew McIntyre around. Like, I'm talking, like, you think you can look like Royce Keys and be as solid as he is, top to bottom, on the mic, everywhere, and you're not gonna get something out of this guy eventually? They need him, and he's delivering. They need him to be a top player right now. Maybe not a top guy, but they need him to be a threat because that's what he looks like. That's what he's being portrayed as. And they need there to be, and he's fitting it so well. We're seeing why, a little bit why, because of how valuable or reliable he's looking right now in the situations they're putting him in. Seeing why maybe Khan was like, hey, I don't want you to go. I'll make you top 10 highest paid in the company just to get you to stay. Because having a guy around like that, look at what Royce Keys looks like. The guy is the new Bobby Lashley like physique guy, where it's like, dude, you could put this guy in any situation and he's believable. Oba bumps into him in the hallway back in the stage like that. Yeah. That's a stare down. You know what I mean? Like, this is a guy that no fan's gonna reject. Oh, they just took out the Bloodline. Who the hell? It's like, oh, it's Royce Keys, like the big ass dude that can beat some, like
yeah, it's believable. It's very believable.
Stomp people in the ground. So it's like a dude that has a backstory with Fatu, who they already know is that guy. So yes, to be honest with you, this is a really good. I didn't know as much about OTM as CD, but like he told you about OTM, I let you know about Royce Keys. This is gonna be something that can't. I'm not gonna say it can't fail as far as like the whole trajectory, but I will say that they're three big guys that are very solid in the ring, very solid at what they do, have an aura. It's like, really, the sky's the limit, honestly. Like, if you really think about it.
You know what? I want to talk to you gentlemen real quick about what this means for the Bloodline, because I feel like that we are forgetting, and it's already been overshadowed, that the Bloodline looks like the number twos in terms of actual strength. Yes, you have a Roman Reigns. Yes, you have a Jacob Fatu. But the way, and I know they wrestled a match in kayfabe, you know what I'm saying? They went through the trials and tribulations of having about a 15 plus minute so match with LA Knight and whatnot. That's what it felt like. However, the way that Royce Keys and OTM just went out there and completely destroyed them, I don't think if the bell just rung, that they stood a chance, that they stood any chance. And that's the type of expectation of booking I want. We'll get into how booking plays a factor into the shows. You can catch us tomorrow on Takedown Tuesday. Me and Joy will talk about that. But when it comes to the future of the Bloodline, my goodness, we finally, and we asked for it. We asked for it with Bloodline Judgment Day, and we never got it. Finally, hopefully, this is a faction that can rival the faction known as the Bloodline. We have a faction versus faction feud on Monday Night Raw. Finally, no, the Bloodline is not more. The OTM is not more established in the Bloodline with them having a Roman Reigns on their side and things of that nature. However, just the fact of somebody who can give the trio of Jacob Fatu and the Usos some problems, and what's Roman Reigns gonna think about when he sees them teaming up with LA Knight and Sikoa when he is not there? That right there is something that will stir the pot.
Royce, with this thing with OTM right now, feels like he might have a tiny bit of, I know Batista didn't really have a faction, but it's like Batista energy where Royce, he seems like his character right now could build into a very in the way guy. No matter who's trying to go for a title or something like that, his character could be very interesting, that he's like one of those dudes that you just you can't forget about. Oh, Seth Rollins comes back, wants a belt. Nope. You gotta have to deal with Royce Keys, because he just doesn't like you. And like, this is the kind of guy that I like that about. He could really derail a lot of characters' plans in WWE, and think about how interesting that is, like booking wise. He could derail so many people's plans, because who's going to stop this guy?
Absolutely. And I am so thankful that this faction is here, and alongside Royce Keys, of course, that this trio exists, because when Roman Reigns gets done, I don't expect him to lose to whoever wins the Lucha tournament, right? As cool as it would be to see a title change on a Monday Night Raw, I just don't see it happen, especially in Mexico City. However, I know this is a stretch, and it probably doesn't happen. Reigns definitely doesn't probably drop the title to Royce Keys. But even the fact that it's a possibility they could have a match on a Monday Night Raw, or even him sending a Jacob Fatu out there to prevent Royce Keys from having a match against him, and he beats Jacob Fatu. The ideas of what could happen with this faction teaming up, not teaming up, but going against the Bloodline would be absolutely amazing. CD, go ahead.
No, I was saying, like, to your point, what you said, like, a Royce Keys beating a Jacob Fatu, the idea of that is kind of like, oh, would that kind of hurt Jacob's stock a little bit? Would that kind of like?
I disagree.
I think it's believable that Royce can really beat him, but like, I felt like in like kayfabe, like, I don't know, like, I feel like people are still looking at Royce Keys as like
hurt anybody's stock.
No, I don't say that because I feel like people still look at Royce Keys as Royce Keys.
You know what,
like,
CD?
This is the early portions of like what we got. So we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. We're going to look at him and be like,
I think the dude's a physical freak, and I don't.
You know what? It would make complete sense if the Usos fail at being OTM, Jacob Fatu fails at beating Royce Keys, and now it's Roman Reigns. And yeah, sure, we can do the fantasy booking of what we want to see Roman Reigns do with the title next year or later on in this year. But them losing gives us the little bit of hope of like, could Royce Keys really put us off? That absence of knowledge has to come back of making us fans feel that suspense of, you know what? Roman could lose. And that's all. Sometimes that's all us wrestling fans want to feel. Sometimes that's all we want to get a grasp on is like, could the title change?
Yeah.
Like could the possibility just fathom and get in our minds? Could potentially Royce Keys beat Roman Reigns, even if it's not for the belt, just get a win?
And add to that would be kind of crazy. You don't know, Reese. I'll add to what you don't know and what CD does as well. Before we move on, like, wouldn't it be insane, CD? Because I think it was the end of 2024, or he might have faced him again in 2025. Wouldn't it be insane if Royce, in a 2-year span, will have had a world title match on weekly television with Moxley and Roman? If he can somehow get that, because I don't think this would be a pay-per-view. But like, even if it was a pay-per-view, you know what I mean? Even like, could you imagine if he could get a world title match with both of them in a 2-year span? Like, that'd be so insane for his career. That'd be a great. And like, it would show, like, I agree with Reese. It shows that, like, it would show that this here is a big move that's going towards Royce getting in the main event scene, because look at the dude, he belongs there.
Yeah, like, he looks like a main event star. He looks like a bona fide
exactly
star.
Like,
he has the size for it.
What are you gonna do? Like Reese is like, what's the mid card division gonna do to Royce Keys? You can smash them all. What are you talking about?
Absolutely.